So this video is basically the end of this project, which actually starts with two other videos before this one. In the first video, in one of the videos, I actually showed you how to install this smart brake module here. It's very simple to install. The connections are easy to do. You can check that video out because we're going to steal the connections from that to light up our top box lights. And also I showed you how to install these LED strips. I got these at Walmart. They're 20 bucks for the pair. I got 3 pairs. They're red, they're nice and bright. I mean, think about it, for 60 bucks. Well, a little bit under, maybe closer to 64 when you add the connections and things of that nature. I have brake lights in my top box. To make this connection to the bike, I went with a trailer plug here. Nice little 4-pin trailer plug. You can find them anywhere. Drill a hole through the top box and ran a pigtail through and make our connection. Now that I got my pigtail through from my trailer wire harness, let's figure out which of these is for what. That's the tail lights. See, both sides light up at once. We'll put that right here. This should be this side's brake light. Yep. At least this is this side's brake light. So now we have this figured out. We're going to take all our grounds, which be our black ones, put them all together. And then the red brake lights will go together, and that red will be its own, and we'll color code it all together. We only need 3 to 4 wires, which is good for us. All right, let's get to work. Hopefully I got a good enough camera angle. Let's angle this some more this way. There we go. Let's get all our grounds together. So we know this is our tail light ground. This is our brake light. Might as well do this. That's this side. This is our tail light. See how short I'm cutting these wires, just because I want to make sure I have as much wire as possible. Put this over here so it doesn't get lost. Then our brake light for that side is right here. After we all this hooked up, we could test it again later. We could actually stick a 9-volt battery straight to it and test it. That's that side. Okay. So, this is out of the way. Notice this brake light, so we'll put you unmixed up here. That's tail light, brake lights. I'm gonna hopefully disconnect this. Get this untwisted. I know this is a mess. At least let me get this all figured out. This is this brake light. Okay. That's that brake light. Now, we need all our grounds. So, we have our grounds here. Strip them off. And then we'll wrap them all together. What I'll do is I'll leave the red tags on the 2 brake lights. That would be easier to decipher which is which. And then we'll take the red tag off the tail. 2 grounds. I'm just doing this, I'll be able to tell that this is the tail light. And strip out of the ground. If you don't have any of these strippers, you could get them on Amazon, wherever. They're great. Just make your job so much easier. Let's take all these grounds, pair them together here. This one here. We'll be able to trace wires back to find which brake light is which. And now we'll have all our grounds together. I sped this process up for you because I know it's pretty boring watching me wrap wires together, but I had to strip the wires off the pigtail. It gave me a little bit of a problem because they also had some plastic coating over rubber insulation. I couldn't tell you why. Once we got those stripped off, So I grabbed some connectors, made all my connections, also slid some heat shrink over the top so after my connections are completed, I'll be able to go ahead and heat shrink and make sure everything is nice and watertight. So you can see me struggling a little bit here. It's just that plastic coating on there for some reason. So now that our connections are made, green is our ground or our negative, I'm sorry. Habit's the same ground. Yellow is our tail lights, so the two thin lights. Brown is our brake lights. So all we gotta do now is slide a heat shrink up, heat shrink it all down, secure these wires. I'm thinking back here against the back somehow. Haven't quite figured that out yet. Don't judge me if I use duct tape for the time being. Then we could take it to the bike and make our connections there, and if everything is correct, it should all light up. All right, I'll get you another picture in a few, or a video. I haven't quite decided yet. Okay, so all our connections are down. Just close the lid to clean it up. And now we're gonna test it. If you take one of the power packs that came with the LED lights, take this covering off, you see it's just two 9-volt batteries. So you're gonna take our power cable here that we made. Can you see this in camera? Okay. Yeah, that's negative and that's positive. We know that green is our negative and brown on the positive side here should light up our brake lights. Yep, both bottom LEDs on both sides. And then this should light up the tail lights, the top LEDs on both sides. So we're all set. So now all you gotta do is go to the bike and do the wiring over there. Cool. Now you see it's not as bright as it was before. That's because this is only 9 volts. They connected it together and we're actually putting 18 volts through it. Your bike is gonna put anywhere from 12 to 14 volts depending upon how good your alternator is working. But either way, even that little bit of light, I'll take anything to get somebody's attention. Actually, when all three are on, it's gonna be more like that. Still not as bright with this 9-volt battery. Oh well. All right, so let's head to the bike. So this is a smart brake module we installed, and that we're actually going to steer the connections off of. I made the connections underneath the rear seat here, ran the wires up out of the rear seat, and that way I could plug it into the wire connector from the box. It's not the prettiest because it's a trailer plug, but it gets the job done. I did put a little grease on there to make it easier to connect, also help to protect it from any type of water or corrosion. So all the wires are covered underneath the duct tape here. I know, it's ugly. That's all I can think of right now. I'm thinking of getting a thin piece of plastic, and I don't want to glue it down, but I could probably use pop rivets and attach it to this lip here and just come all the way around to protect all our connections, like that opening there. But everything's sealed up and watertight. Wires are there, so they're at least protected from me putting stuff in here for the time being. And now it's on the bike. So let's see how it looks. Hopefully we don't get washed out with the sunlight here. So there's our tail lights. We're getting kind of washed out with the sun. You can still see it, which is good. Let's go ahead and hit the brake light. And there's the brake lights. Nice and bright. And hopefully that would help keep you from getting killed. Pull the garage door down some so you can see it darker. There we go. Tail lights. Brake lights. I think it's actually brighter than the factory one. But that's it. And the next project will be the turn signal, probably. Haven't quite decided yet. All right. As usual, please subscribe, like, and comment if you have any questions. And that's all I have. Looking up for the next video. Also going to do a video on how I'm preparing for my trip to Montana. 5,000 miles is a lot of riding. Wish me luck.